स्टार्ट करने को सर आवाज जा रही है आपको सर?
हाँ, मुझे आवाज आ रही है.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, should we start now?
Yes, certainly. We'll start.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear participants, very good evening to all of you. Today we have a very esteemed speaker, and I will say the regular resource person of HRDC AMU Aligarh. And moreover, he was also my teacher and still is my teacher, Professor CPS Chauhan, sir. Sir, I'm Dr. Aftab Ahmed Ansari, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Participants, sir needs no much more introduction because he is very popular among academia. Professor Chauhan sir served two central universities, Banaras Hindu University and Aligarh Muslim University in different capacities. He has served as a Department of Education AMU Aligarh, as a chairman twice and Dean Faculty of Social Science Aligarh Muslim University. He was also Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, and he headed the Department of Education in 2014, and he then just tell few names of their group. That participation of women in higher education, the Indian perspective, education for all in India, a second look by Professor CPS Chauhan, education and caste in India, higher education, current status and future possibilities in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal. I will say the Indian subcontinent, education for all, India sense temporary issues of higher education. And in which the most popular book was, which we have also studied, and he is the champion of mathematics education and I will say the measurement and evaluation. Professor CPS Chauhan was also is also an EC member of South Bihar Central University, and expressed happiness and the academia expressed happiness on this honor for him. He was also published more than 45 articles in various journals of international and national repute. He was also the member of HRDC and NCRT, and he delivered many more lectures in different international seminars and conferences. And with these words, I would like to invite Professor CPS Chauhan sir to deliver today's lecture on the topic that is higher education system and its role in 21st century. Sir, now mic over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aftab Ahmed. भैया आपकी आवाज में थोड़ी हल्की है, क्या बात है? मेरी आवाज साफ सुनाई दे रही है आपको?
सर आ रही है सर, वेरी मच क्लियर सर.
लेकिन आपकी आवाज हल्की थी, उसको ठीक कर लीजिए.
Can you hear, sir?
Okay, I think all have joined.
Yes, sir.
Everybody who is interested has already joined. As you know, our topic of today is higher education in India, its role in the 21st century. Okay, so it has two aspects. One is what is the current status of higher education in our country. This is one aspect which we'll discuss. The other is what is that higher education offers to our society for its bright future. These are the two aspects of higher education system which we'll talk about today. We'll start our discussion from 1947 because we will not go into the ancient period, pre-British period history. We'll start from 1947 and then trace the historical development during that period, and then we'll come to the policy proposals proposals of NEP 2020 regarding higher education. And then we'll talk about what are the implications of those proposals, how these proposals are going to be implemented, and how these proposals will benefit the society. This is how we'll continue with our discussion. When in 1947, when India was partitioned into two different nations, Pakistan and India, but you can say Pakistan and Bharat and Pakistan and Hindustan, whatever. That time, the total number of universities in the country were 20 universities, including one in Pakistan, Punjab University, Lahore. After partition, that university went to Pakistan, and the other 19 remained with India. So 19 universities in all, and mainly of three different types. There were universities which only conducted examinations of affiliated colleges. These were affiliating universities. And then there were some universities which had teaching departments only, and no affiliated colleges. And a few of them were, unitary. I mean, those universities which discharged both the functions. They had affiliated colleges as well as teaching departments. And even now, we have these three different types of universities. The number of colleges affiliated to these universities that time was 500, nearly 500. And the total number of students was nearly 2.4 lakhs. This was the total enrollment in all the 19 universities and 500 colleges spread over the length and breadth of the country. And altogether, these institutions had 2,000 teachers working in them. So this was the size of our higher education system that time, which was too small. बहुत छोटा system था, and only our GER, gross enrollment ratio, was nearly about 3 or 4%. That means we could provide higher education facilities only to 3 or 4% of the youth in the relevant age group from 18 to 23 years. So this was the size of our higher education system that when we achieved freedom. The first thing that the government of India did in the field of education was to set up a University Education Commission, which was headed by Dr. Radhakrishnan, who was Vice Chancellor of Madras University that time, and who later on became the President of India. We also call this commission as Radhakrishnan Commission. So the first thing that the government did was to appoint Radhakrishnan Commission for higher education. This commission was appointed in 1948, and it submitted its report after 1 year, 1949. And this commission made several important recommendations about quantitative and qualitative development of higher education in the country, and also some other important recommendations. One of the recommendations of the commission was to set up a national body, to coordinate the development of higher education system in the country, and also oversee its quality and standards. Because the system had grown large, and there was a need to have some kind of system which could coordinate the development of the entire higher education system and monitor its quality. So University Grant Commission was set up on the basis of the recommendation of this Radhakrishnan Commission by the Government of India in 1953. The exact date of its inauguration was 28th of December. 28th of December 1953 was the day when University Grant Commission was inaugurated by then Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. That time it was not a statutory body. It was established by an government order, and but it started functioning. After 3 years, in 1956, the Parliament of India passed the UGC Act, and UGC became a statutory body. So this was in fact the important year for the University Grant Commission when it achieved a statutory status. This organization was entrusted with two responsibilities. One was to coordinate the development of higher education and determine and maintain its quality. This was one function. Coordination of development and determination of maintenance of standards of teaching, examination, and research. Second function was to study the financial requirement of universities and other higher education institutions and recommend to the government the funds to be given to these higher education institutions. And its responsibility was to disburse funds among the higher education institutions. So these were the two major functions which University Grant Commission was supposed to discharge. And then thereafter, the Government of India started planned development, in terms of 5-year plans. And in the first 2 decades, up to 1970, higher education grew very fast. The growth rate was nearly 13 to 14%. And then gradually its growth rate came down. It came down to nearly 10% in the 80s, then to 5% in the 19s, and then at the end of 19th century, it was nearly 2.5%. So as the time passed, the rate of growth of higher education declined. And presently, we have one of the largest higher education systems of the world. In fact, third largest higher education system of the world. First and second being those of USA and China. So after United States and China, India has the largest, third largest higher education system of the world, with nearly 1,160 universities and equivalent institutions which can award degrees. So this is the situation now. That means in a period of nearly 75 years, we have developed our system in such a way that it has become third largest in the world, with 1,160 universities and equivalent bodies. And there are about 46,000 affiliated colleges, because these universities affiliate colleges also. And nearly 16 lakh teachers are working in all these colleges and universities. And the total enrollment in these institutions is nearly 43.3 million. That means 4.33 crore. So it's very large, in fact. 4.33 crore. This is a huge enrollment, in fact. It is equal to the total population of Canada. The higher education enrollment in our country is equal to total population of Canada. It's 1.5 times the total population of Australia, and nearly 200 total population of 200 countries of the world. It's smaller than our university enrollment. So you can see this way that how large our system is. And if you look at our share in the total enrollment of the world universities, our population is nearly 17%, 17.5% of the total population of the world, which is now nearly 8.2 billion. 8.2 billion means 820 crore. This is the total for near about 820 crore, total population of the world. And we are 17% of that population. Anyway, and our enrollment in our universities is also nearly 17% of the total university enrollment of the world. Total enrollment in higher education in all the universities of the world is nearly 240 million. That is 24 crore. And we have 4.3 crore, which is nearly 17% of the total enrollment of the world. So this is the situation. So we have 3 different kind of higher education institutions now. There are universities. Then there are some universities of national importance, some institutions of national importance. Then there are affiliated colleges, which are affiliated to different universities for the purpose of examination. And then there are other institutions also which are providing education not for a degree, but for a certificate. And most of them are managed by the government, state governments, not by the university. Like polytechnics. These polytechnics which give a skill training and which are meant for the award of diploma certificates and not the degrees. So that way there are different types of higher education institutions in the country. So this is the situation. Now we'll see what is expected of a university, or what does a society expect from its higher education system. अब थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में हम सोचना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हायर एजुकेशन सब जगह है, हमारे यहाँ भी है, तो हम लोग क्या चाहते हैं, व्हाट इज दैट वी एक्सपेक्ट ऑफ इट, हमको क्या चाहिए हायर एजुकेशन से, तो इसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करें, बिकॉज दैट डिसाइड्स इट्स सोशल रेलेवेंस. इस सोशल रेलेवेंस का तभी पता लगेगा जब हम ये जाने कि हायर एजुकेशन से क्या चाहिए. नाउ in fact, higher education is an important sector of education system of any country, and its major role is in the production of enlightened citizens for taking up responsibilities in the government, in the business, judiciary, education, and other important sectors of economy. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन है हायर एजुकेशन. it provides enlightened citizens which are able to be placed on various important positions in the government, like administration, and in the business, and in judiciary, education, and other different sectors. And it is that group which contributes significantly to the growth of economy. This is the group which contributes significantly to the growth of economy. And at the same time, it strengthened the social and moral values of the society. In our country, it is higher education that strengthens democracy and its values. So this is one. Higher education develops the ability of critical thinking, problem solving, and the ability to make useful decisions. फैसले जो खास फैसले करने होते हैं उसकी एबिलिटी ये डेवलप करती है. It develops the brain to the highest level so that a person can take crucial decisions. This is one important function of higher education. The other is higher education systems provides skilled manpower and also professionally trained manpower like doctors, engineers, and other professionally trained people who contribute to productivity of the nation. So this is another important role of higher education. It supplies manpower to various sectors of economy. The third is higher education contributes to earning capacity of individuals. Earning capacity. The higher the level of education of a person, higher his earning capacity is supposed to be. यानी हायर एजुकेशन जिसकी ज्यादा होगी ये माना जाता है कि वो ज्यादा अर्निंग उसकी होगी, होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए. So there is a high positive relationship between level of education and level of earning of citizens. And then it is also expected that a person with professional education earns more than a person with general education. This means professional education contributes more to economic growth than a person with general education, as far as economic growth is concerned. Because general education has its own advantage. It has the other important benefits. So that's a different matter. Then higher education leads to reduced inequality, social inequality, social and economic inequality. Inequality is there in all the societies. All societies have inequality, and in fact, it's a law of nature. All people cannot be equal. सभी लोग बराबर नहीं हो सकते. It's a law of nature कि सब different होंगे. And in countries like India, there is a wide disparity as far as land possession and wealth accumulation is concerned. बहुत ज़्यादा वो है, disparity है, and we have a very small number of people who are very rich, and then and large number of people who are very poor. And even now, the percentage of people living under the poverty line is nearly 18%. This is the most recent data. So this is one thing. And higher education reduces this inequality, and therefore that way it develops mutual trust and encourages cooperation and also improves quality of life. So these are some of the advantages of higher education which a society should have from its higher education system. Now, how do we plan to achieve these aims through our proposals given in the NEP 2020? अब हम उस चीज पर आते हैं कि जो पॉलिसी है 2020 how does this policy help us in achieving these goals, and how NEP 2020 proposals improve the efficiency of higher education system as far as achievement of these goals is concerned. अब हम इसकी बात करेंगे क्या क्या इसमें करें. Okay, so as I told you, we are one of the largest higher education system of the world, third largest in fact. Even then, we can say that our system is small in the sense that it does not fulfill our needs, although it is third largest in the world. भाई दुनिया में तीसरा बड़ा सिस्टम, फिर भी हमारी जरूरतें पूरी नहीं करता, and that therefore it is short for our needs. ये कम है because our higher education GER is 28%. GER, gross enrollment ratio. ये क्या चीज है पहले हम इसको समझते हैं. There is a subpopulation aged 18 to 23 years. 18 साल से 23 साल के उम्र के जो बच्चे हैं, जो यंग यूथ है, this group is nearly 15 crore in our country. करीब 15 करोड़ लोग हैं हमारे यहाँ यंग मैन जो 18 से 23 साल की एज के विद इन दैट एज. इसको कहते हैं रेलेवेंट एज ग्रुप. दिस इज द रेलेवेंट एज ग्रुप फॉर हायर एजुकेशन. हम ये कहेंगे ये जो है हायर एजुकेशन की रेलेवेंट एज ग्रुप. एंड द टोटल पॉपुलेशन इन दिस एज ग्रुप इज 15 crore or 150 million. We enroll only 4.3 crore, which is 28% of the total group of the relevant age group. Yeah. That means out of the total population in the age group 18 to 23 years, we can provide higher education facilities only to 28% of that group. यानी वो जो ग्रुप है उसके सिर्फ 28% को ही हम फैसिलिटीज दे पाते हैं, and the other 72% must remain out of the ambit of higher education. 72% को हम फैसिलिटी दे ही नहीं पाते. That's why we say that our system is short or our system is small, because it doesn't satisfy our needs. The GER at the world level is 40. अगर हम पूरी दुनिया का GER लें, gross enrollment लें, वो 40 to 40, and ours is only 28. That means we are 12 percentage points shorter than the world average. This clearly means that we need to expand our system more. इसका सीधा मतलब ये है कि हमें अपने सिस्टम को और एक्सपेंड करना पड़ेगा. We need more institutions. We need perhaps more colleges so as to accommodate more and more people of the relevant age. ये idea है. If you look at some other countries, GER in some of the countries is very high. As I told you, average GER is 40. दुनिया का जो एवरेज GER है वो 40. बट देर आर सम कंट्रीज लाइक साउथ कोरिया. The GER of South Korea is 95, 94. That means now South Korea is able to provide higher education facilities to 94% of the relevant age group. Similarly, the corresponding figure in USA is 88. In UK, it is nearly 64. Even in China, the figure has gone beyond 50. चीन में भी 50 से ज्यादा ये फिगर है. That means, as far as quantitative development is concerned, we have to think of further expansion so that we may provide facilities for more and more people. One cause of the problem is that we have no openings after +2 stage. After schooling, there's no opening in the job market. देखिए बेसिक प्रॉब्लम ये है कि 12th क्लास के बाद या स्कूलिंग के बाद जॉब मार्केट में कोई स्कोप हमारे यहाँ नहीं. एंड द ओनली थिंग दैट ए स्टूडेंट कैन डू इज गो टू द कॉलेज फॉर हायर स्टडी. इसको सिर्फ कॉलेज में जाने के अलावा और कोई रास्ता नहीं. एंड lakhs of students pass out of schooling system every year. लाखों आते हैं उससे स्कूल सिस्टम से. एंड for want of opportunities in the market for job, most of them have to go to the seek admission in colleges. ज्यादा के ज्यादा लोगों को कॉलेज में ही एडमिशन लेने के लिए जाना. इतनी भीड़ हो जाती है. Lot of rush toward the college. So this is one reason. Anyway, so ये हमको करना पड़ेगा. So one thing that we have to do is go for the massive expansion of this system. सिस्टम को बहुत ज्यादा हमें बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. एक तो ये करना पड़ेगा. दूसरा, we have to raise the quality of education imparted in our institutions. जो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं इनमें जो एजुकेशन दी जाती है क्वालिटी को हमको बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. अच्छी एजुकेशन दें. Only quality will not be sufficient, and that's why many of our graduates are not employable in the market because quality is poor. Quality की वजह से बहुत सारे graduates को जॉब नहीं मिलता market. So therefore we have to improve the quality, and for that many things have to be done. Infrastructure has to be developed, and then we have to bring some curricular changes, some pedagogical changes. ये सब लाना पड़ेगा. We have to improve our curriculum. We have to improve our teaching methods. We have also to improve our infrastructure in terms of laboratories and libraries. ये सब करना पड़ेगा. And then because many of our graduates after completing their studies, higher studies, don't find a job in the market. The data published by the government says that nearly 1 crore graduates and postgraduates pass out of our universities every year. हर साल करीब 1 crore ग्रेजुएट हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज कॉलेजेस पैदा करते हैं. And all these graduates are supposed to be absorbed by the job. सबको जॉब मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं. According to the recent data published by the नीति आयोग एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, आप जानते हैं, nearly 47% of the graduates coming out of our universities are not employable. यानी आप समझिए कि ये फिगर है उसकी, करीब 47% ग्रेजुएट्स ऐसे हैं जिनको जॉब दिया ही नहीं जा सकता. They don't fit anywhere in the economy. इकोनॉमी में कहीं भी वो फिट नहीं ऐसे ग्रेजुएट्स. And then this figure is for all the graduates, which includes professional graduates also. According to a recent World Economic Forum report, World Economic Forum एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसकी भी रिपोर्ट अभी रिसेंटली 3-4 महीने हुए तब आई. That report says that nearly 80% of engineers coming out of our universities and colleges are not directly employable in the market. 80% engineers जो निकलते हैं उनको सीधे जॉब नहीं दिया जा सकता. They need some training. कुछ ना कुछ उनको ट्रेनिंग चाहिए. That means they must wait. उनको वेट करना पड़ेगा तब उनको कहीं एब्जॉर्ब. And the same thing is true for 75% for MBAs. जो MBA है उनमें भी 75% ऐसे जिनको वेट करना होता है. They are not directly employed. And for general education, the corresponding figure is only 10%. That is, only 10% graduates coming out of our general education system are employable. 10% को ही हम जॉब दे सकते हैं जो जनरल एजुकेशन के ग्रेजुएट्स हैं. 90% को हम जॉब नहीं दे सकते. तो this leads to increased unemployment. जो unemployment है ये बहुत ज्यादा है. And another problem is that unemployment rate increases with level of education. इसको थोड़ा समझना पड़ेगा. जो unemployment rate है ये level of education के साथ बढ़ता है. That means unemployment among illiterates is less than in elementary school educated people. Elementary school तक जो लोग पढ़े हुए हैं उनमें अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अनपढ़ से ज्यादा. Similarly, unemployment rate is higher among university graduates than among school educated people. माने जो स्कूल लेवल की एजुकेशन जिनके पास है उनमें अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रेजुएट से कम है. तो जैसे हम as we go up the education ladder, the unemployment rate seems to be increasing. बढ़ता है अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट, बढ़ जाता है. तो इस सिचुएशन को टैकल करना पड़ेगा. That means the problem is that we don't have skill oriented education. हम skill oriented education नहीं देते शायद. And there is some kind of mismatch between what we produce and what is required by the economy. यानी इकोनॉमी जिस तरह के लोग चाहती है उस तरह के लोग हमारी एजुकेशन सिस्टम पैदा नहीं करते. What we produce is not accepted by economy, and what is required by the economy is not produced by us. जो चाहिए वो हम पैदा नहीं करते, जो पैदा करते हैं वो उनको चाहिए. So there is some skill mismatch इसको कहते हैं. And the problem is that there is a lack of dialogue between economy and education. Economic system और education system इन दोनों में dialogue नहीं है. So ये इस चीज को हमको देखना पड़ेगा. Then Research is our weakest component. Government is also thinking of improving this quality of research, and there are certain specific proposals in the NEP 2020 regarding improvement of quality of research in our universities and colleges. And then there is an international dimension. International dimension also needs to be improved. Now, for expansion, NEP says that we have to raise our GER from the present 28 to 50 till 2035. 2035 तक हमारा जो ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट रेशियो है 28 है, इसको 50 तक ले जाना है, बढ़ाना है. That means we have to go for a large scale expansion. बहुत बड़ा एक्सपेंशन हमको करीब करीब दुगना करना पड़ेगा. जितना हमारा सिस्टम अब है उससे उसको करीब करीब डबल करना पड़ेगा. और इसके लिए NEP has certain proposals, specific proposals. इसके लिए NPE ने बताया है कि क्या करना चाहिए. First thing is, the first proposal of NEP is that every district will have a multidisciplinary university which will provide education in local language और रीजनल. एक तो ये बात, हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटी खोली जाएगी. मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी मीन उसमें सब सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाए जाएंगे. तो इस तरह का एक यूनिवर्सिटी हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में होगा. अभी भी बहुत सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऐसे हैं जहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर्स हैं जहाँ एक भी कॉलेज नहीं है. तो दैट मीन्स फर्स्ट थिंग टू इंश्योर इज दैट एवरी district should have at least one multidisciplinary institution. This is one. तो एक तरीका तो ये है कि हम और इंस्टीट्यूशन खोलें, उससे हम अपनी GER बढ़ा सकते हैं. Second is that we should increase intake in our existing institutions. जो हमारे पास सिस्टम है, the number of institutions and infrastructure that we have, we can increase intake in it. इसमें और ज्यादा सीट बढ़ा दें. This is second way. दूसरा तरीका ये है कि हम सीटें बढ़ाएं. उसके लिए we have to create more infrastructure and we have also to appoint additional teachers. वो सब तो करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन ये हम दूसरा तरीका ये है कि हम intake बढ़ा दें. The third proposal is to promote distance education system in a big way. तो ये तीन तरीके बताए. These are three ways in which we can increase our GER. हम GER को बढ़ा सकते हैं. तीन तरीके हैं. NEP 2020 में तीनों बताए. पहला क्या है? हर जिले में एक मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटी खोलिए, या ये कहें कि हम और इंस्टीट्यूशंस खोलें. दूसरा, we increase intake in the existing universities, and third is to promote distance education more. Distance education को हम लार्ज स्केल पर हम प्रमोट करें. तो ये तीन तरीके उसके हैं. We have presently 16 open universities. 16 open university हमारे पास हैं. Among which one is a central university, IGNO central university है, and 14 open universities are state university. 14 यूनिवर्सिटी ऐसी हैं जो स्टेट की यूनिवर्सिटी, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने खोली, and one is a private university, एक प्राइवेट. इस तरह से हमारा है. And all these 16 universities together account for 11% of the total enrollment in higher education. पूरा एनरोलमेंट हायर एजुकेशन का है हमारे पास 4.3 करोड़, उसका 11% हमारा इन ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम है. So this is the situation, and this means the DE board system has to be encouraged in a big way. हमको और ज्यादा इसको करना पड़ेगा. This is, in fact, this will prove to be a very efficient and useful approach to increase access to higher education in India. इंडिया जैसे देश में जहाँ बहुत पॉपुलेशन है वहाँ डीई मोड है, उसका रोल बहुत अच्छा रोल उसका हो सकता है. तो ये चीज होगी. देन अब देखिए, हम क्वालिटी की अगर बात करें, I hope you know that some international organizations are publishing international university ranking every year. ये आप जानते हैं, इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं कुछ, वो हर साल यूनिवर्सिटी रैंकिंग पब्लिश करते हैं. एंड these publications come out every year in the month of January. हर साल जनवरी में लिस्ट आती है. और there are several such organizations which publish such lists. इस तरह की लिस्ट आती है. This process started from 2004. 2004 से ये शुरू हुआ पब्लिकेशन, and still continuing for the last 20 years. 20 साल से चल रहा. In the beginning, some 2 or 3 of our higher education institutions, including one IIT and one Indian Institute of Science and 1 or 2 universities. These 2 or 3 universities found a place in the top 500. शुरू में जब 2004 में सिस्टम शुरू हुआ तो हमारे 3-4 इंस्टीट्यूशन बेस्ट 500 में आते थे. They were ranked among the top 500. Prominent among them was Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. ये बहुत अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन है और ये लगातार टॉप रैंकिंग में आता रहा. And then we have a few IITs which also appear in the top 500. As the time passed, जैसे टाइम गुजरता गया, the number of our universities, the number of our institutions figuring in the top 500 decreased. And at the same time, their ranks came down. यानी जैसे जैसे टाइम गुजरा, एक तो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशन का नंबर कम हुआ. बेस्ट 500 में पहले 3 आते थे, फिर 2 आने लगे, फिर धीरे धीरे 1 ही आने लगा. इस तरह से वो नंबर कम होता गया. एंड देयर रैंक्स आल्सो केम डाउन. यानी शुरू में तो वो टॉप 200 में आ जाते थे, एंड उसके बाद वो टॉप 300 में आने लगे, फिर 400 में, लाइक दैट. देयर रैंकिंग केम डाउन. तो दोनों चीजें हुई, रैंक भी गिरा, नंबर भी गिरा. दैट मीन्स देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम with our system, which we are supposed to look into. तो देखना है कहीं ना कहीं कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, इसको ठीक करना पड़ेगा. And at the same time, nearly 150 to 160, 150 से 160 तक यूएस की यूनिवर्सिटीज टॉप 500 में आती. देखिए, यूएसए की जो उसी रैंकिंग की बात कर रहा हूं, सेम रैंक इन द सेम ग्रुप, नियरली 150 or 160 universities of UK of USA find a place in the top 5, and 30 to 40 of Japan and Germany. यानी जापान और जर्मनी की भी 30-40 यूनिवर्सिटियां उस टॉप 500 में आ जाती हैं. चाइना की भी, अब तो चाइना का नंबर बहुत अच्छा हो गया. चाइना हैज नियरली from 70 to 80 universities figuring in the top 500. लेकिन हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज वहां नहीं आ पाती है. That means there is some problem somewhere. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ है. अब हम इसको ठीक करना पड़ेगा. एंड गवर्नमेंट हैज यू नो प्लान फॉर, के पास प्लान है. एंड दैट प्लान हैज बीन गिवन इन द NEP 2020. उसका हम डिस्कशन करें. ओके. अब हम ये देखें कि इतना लार्ज स्केल अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, इतना बड़ा सिस्टम होते हैं, लार्ज स्केल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. What are the reasons for it? There are a few factors which are responsible for it. First is that we have surplus manpower. Manpower हमारे यहाँ surplus. We produce the number of people for work for which there is no. सबके लिए काम नहीं है यार. There is no manpower planning in that. कायदे में manpower planning होनी चाहिए. We should plan in such a way that within the next 10 years we will require, say, 10,000 engineers. Then produce 10,000 engineers. But this kind of planning is not. इस तरह का कोई सिस्टम हमारे है नहीं. तो ये सब इसके बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा. And our population is the largest in the world now. अब हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन है दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा है. You know, 1 year ago, China was first, we were second as far as population is concerned. Now we are first, China is the second. Currently, to the conservative estimate, we are about 1440 million. 144 करोड़ के करीब हमारी पॉपुलेशन है, which was only 330 in 1951. 1951 में 330 थी. 330 million. Now it is 1440 million. So this is another problem. And look at the USA. USA is a developed country. We have 17% of the total population of the world. Only on 2% of the land area. 2.4% of the land area. हमारे पास जो लैंड एरिया है वो पूरी दुनिया की लैंड एरिया का 2.4%. बट पॉपुलेशन इज 17.5. ये इशू है. And if you look at the resources, USA has 3 times larger area, land area than India. USA का जो एरिया है वो हमारे से 3 गुना है. And our population is 4 times the population of USA. अब आप देखिए, हमारी पॉपुलेशन यूएसए से 4 गुनी, उनकी लैंड हमारी लैंड से 3 गुनी. That means if you calculate the share of one American as far as the resources is concerned, it equals the share of 12 Indians. यानी कहने का मतलब यह है, जितने रिसोर्सेस एक अमेरिकन सिटीजन एंजॉय करता है, उतने में 12 इंडियंस को अपना काम चलाना पड़ता है. This is one important problem. भाई इसमें तो हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि हमारे पास लैंड एरिया कम है. And you know, the proportion, the रिसोर्सेज आर प्रोपोर्शनल टू लैंड एरिया, जितना लैंड ज्यादा होगी उतने रिसोर्स अच्छे होंगे हमारे पास। तो ये लैंड एरिया हमारा कम है और हमारे पास बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन है, दिस इज वन रीजन। दूसरा हमने बता चुके कि वो स्किल मिसमैच है, जैसे लोग हमें इकोनॉमी को चाहिए वैसे हमारी एजुकेशन सिस्टम पैदा नहीं करता, और वट एवर इज प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बाय द तो इसलिए करिकुला हैव टू बी अपडेटेड। एक चीज और है, everybody wants a government job, and if a person is employed in a government job, then he is employed, तब वो बेरोजगार नहीं है, अदरवाइज ही बेरोजगार, वो अपने आप को बेरोजगारी करता, भले ही वो अपने घर का काम कुछ कर रहा हो या कहीं प्राइवेट जॉब कर रहा हो, उसमें वो ज्यादा अर्निंग हो उसकी, even then he will say he is बेरोजगार because he doesn't have a government job। सरकारी जॉब को ही रोजगार मानते हैं हम लोग, that is their problem। But government jobs are not even 1 crore, 1 करोड़ भी जॉब नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट जॉब 1 करोड़ नहीं। एवरीबडी कैनॉट बी गिवन एन गवर्नमेंट जॉब, सबको सरकारी नौकरी नहीं दी जा सकती, तो ये प्रॉब्लम, तो ये सब भी है, तो ये चीजें चलती है। एनीवे, नाउ लेट अस सी हाउ NEP proposes to change this system। NEP जो है सिस्टम को कैसे बदलना चाहती है, इसके बारे में अब हम बात करें। National education policy defines a university in a new way। नए तरीके से यूनिवर्सिटी की डेफिनेशन देती है ये पॉलिसी। तो क्या कहती है? A university is a multidisciplinary institution। A university is a multidisciplinary institution with facilities for undergraduate, postgraduate and research, along with community engagement। ये डेफिनेशन, यानी NPE says that a university should have 4 things. 1, it should be multidisciplinary। That means it should teach all subjects। सारे सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाए। There should not be a monodisciplinary university like a technical university, medical university, इस तरह का नहीं, ये नहीं होना चाहिए। हर यूनिवर्सिटी में सब कुछ पढ़ाया जाए। दिस इज व्हाट पॉलिसी सेज, ये एजुकेशन पॉलिसी कहती है। सेकेंडली, पॉलिसी ऑल्सो टॉक्स अबाउट integrated undergraduate and postgraduate courses। Integrated courses of 3 to 4 years at the undergraduate level, and also postgraduate courses, integrated postgraduate courses for school leavers directly। यानी जो स्कूल से आए, आवाज आ रही है, स्कूल लीवर्स यानी +2 के बाद, आफ्टर क्लास 12th, a student can directly go for a integrated postgraduate course of 5-year duration। 5 साल का ड्यूरेशन का कोर्स जो है वो कर सकता है। तो इस तरह से there is a structural change, there is a proposal of structural change in the degree programs, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level। अच्छा, then the one proposal is that there would be direct entry to doctoral programs। PhD program में सीधे एंट्री होगी आफ्टर 4-year इंटीग्रेटेड अंडरग्रेजुएट कोर्स। 4 साल के अंडरग्रेजुएट कोर्स के बाद सीधे डॉक्टोरल कोर्स में एंट्री हो जाएगी। द कंडीशन इज दैट द स्टूडेंट who passes out should have studied research component in the 4th year. 4th year है उसमें उसको रिसर्च कंपोनेंट यानी रिसर्च की ट्रेनिंग उसको होगी चौथे साल। 4th ईयर में ऑप्शनल है। 3 years are the same for all. 3 साल तो सबके लिए एक जैसा होगा। 4th year can be a research oriented study as well as academic oriented study. A student can choose any one of them. Those who choose research oriented studies can go directly to PhD program, and those who choose academic stream, they cannot go to PhD program directly नहीं जा सकते। They have to undergo a 1 year post graduate course. उनके लिए 1 साल का PG कोर्स होगा, वो करना होगा, तब वो जा पाए। Like that, इस तरह के स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस जो है, these changes are proposed. इसके बाद और चीज है, policy also makes certain important proposals about colleges. Colleges के बारे में भी उन्होंने कहा। The policy proposes that there will be no affiliating system in future. Affiliating system को खत्म किया जाए over a long period of time. ऐसा नहीं abruptly नहीं करेंगे, और धीरे धीरे करेंगे। And time given to this is 15 years from 2020 to 2035. 2035 तक all the affiliating system will go. Affiliating system नहीं रहेगा. Affiliated colleges will not be there. But what will happen to them? होगा क्या, ये हमें सोचना पड़ेगा। देखिए, as I told you, we have nearly 46,000 affiliated colleges, and some of the colleges are very good, and they are also large in size. कुछ कॉलेज ऐसे हैं जो बड़े भी हैं और साइज में बड़े हैं और अच्छी क्वालिटी की एजुकेशन भी है। Such colleges may be given the university status, multidisciplinary university. ऐसे कॉलेजेस को यूनिवर्सिटी स्टेटस दिया जाएगा आफ्टर असेसमेंट। देखिए, असेसमेंट किया जाएगा, ऐसे ही नहीं देंगे। आफ्टर असेसमेंट सच कॉलेजेस विल बी गिवन द स्टेटस ऑफ ए multidisciplinary university. So this is one problem. Second is, some colleges may be given the status of a autonomous college. कुछ को autonomous college बना दिया जाएगा, which will develop their own curricula, conduct their teaching work in their own way, and then conduct their examinations themselves. And the degrees will be awarded by the university. एक ये कैटेगरी होगी ऑटोनोमस कॉलेजेस, जो अपना करिकुलम खुद बनाएंगे, अपना टीचिंग वर्क करेंगे, अपना एग्जाम खुद कंडक्ट करेंगे, डिग्री यूनिवर्सिटी देंगे, बाकी सब काम वो खुद करेंगे। So this will be second category. Third category will be that of constituent colleges. Some colleges which are within the same city in which university is located. These will be directly brought under the university. You see the university के अंदर लाया जाए. Then those colleges will be attached to the university. Their admission, their management will be taken over by the university. Their funding will also come from the university. सब चीज यूनिवर्सिटी का, यानी एक तरह से यूनिवर्सिटी का वो हिस्सा बन जाएंगे। अभी भी है बहुत सी यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ कंस्टिट्यूएंट कॉलेज हैं अभी। तो सारे कॉलेजेस को इन 3 कैटेगरीज में धीरे धीरे बांटने की बात है। कुछ को जो अच्छे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी स्टेटस मिलेगा, कुछ को ऑटोनोमस कॉलेज स्टेटस मिलेगा, और कुछ जो कंस्टिट्यूएंट कॉलेज हो जाएंगे। एंड ऑल दीज विल बी मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी, सब मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी, सब में सब सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाए जाएंगे। दूसरा एक बात और है, देयर विल ऑलवेज बी ए चांस for improvement of the status. उसका chance हमेशा रहेगा. Now, suppose there is a autonomous college. After some time, it has improved its quality and it has also grown in size. यानी size में भी बड़ा हो गया, उसका infrastructure भी अच्छा हो गया. Then it can be given the status of a university, multidisciplinary university after assessment. यानी assessment लगातार चलेगी, तो जो improve करता जाएगा उसका status बदलता जाएगा, status बढ़ता जाएगा. Autonomous college का भी ऐसे ही होगा. Autonomous college को university बना दिया जाएगा. Like that. ये है एक तरह से graded, उनका इम्प्रूवमेंट भी होगा, वो ग्रेडेड ऑटोनॉमी भी दी जाएगी. इस तरह की चीजें हैं, नया प्रपोजल में आएगा. देन universities will also be divided into two different categories. पॉलिसी कहती है कि दो तरह की यूनिवर्सिटीज होंगी. देखिए, पहली बात तो है कि ऑल यूनिवर्सिटीज विल बी मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी. एक तो ये बात है, सभी को ज्यादा से ज्यादा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाने पड़े. इस तरह की इंस्टीट्यूशन डीम्ड टू बी यूनिवर्सिटी, ये सब नहीं. एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी, मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी, टेक्नो, ये कुछ सब एक जैसी. एक तो ये चीज. दूसरा, फिर इनमें दो कैटेगरीज होंगी. देयर विल बी सम यूनिवर्सिटीज which will have more emphasis on teaching than on research. यानी कुछ ऐसी होंगी जिनमें टीचिंग पर ज्यादा एम्फोसिस होगा, रिसर्च पे उतना नहीं. And these will be called teaching intensive universities. Teaching intensive universities. Similarly, there will be another category which will have more emphasis on research than on teaching. यानी कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज ऐसी होंगी जो टीचिंग जिनके लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगी, रिसर्च उनमें ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होगी. दूसरी ऐसी होंगी जो रिसर्च पर ज्यादा इंफेसिस होगा, टीचिंग पर नहीं. तो टीचिंग इंटेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड रिसर्च इंटेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटी, इस तरह से दो तरह की होगी. एंड दिस स्टेटस विल बी इंटरचेंजेबल. यानी अगर ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम a teaching university develops a good research infrastructure, it can be converted into research intensive university and vice versa. दोनों चीजें पॉसिबल है. यानी स्टेटस इंटरचेंज हो सकता है. और ये तब हो पाएगा कि रेगुलर असेसमेंट होगी उसकी हर एक की. तो ये चीज चलती चली जाए. इस तरह से प्रपोजल है. इसके बाद some pedagogical changes are also proposed in NEP 2020. And one significant proposal of NEP is that all higher education institutions will have technology-enabled teaching approach. Technology-enabled teaching approach. एंड जो टीचिंग है उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी को लाया जाए. टेक्नोलॉजी विल बी यूज्ड इन द टीचिंग मेथड्स. उसका इस्तेमाल किया. एंड फॉर दैट ए नेशनल एजुकेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी फोरम इज टू बी क्रिएटेड. इस तरह का एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनेगी एंड विच विल कोऑर्डिनेट ऑल सच एफर्ट्स. तो ये चीज ये होगी. And this is not very simple, in fact, because if we want to see that every higher education institution uses technology in teaching, then we have to ensure that every institution has infrastructure for this purpose. यानी इसके लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए. हर इंस्टीट्यूशन में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. आईसीटी यूज के लिए आईसीटी इक्विपमेंट चाहिए. I mean, that has to be provided for every institution, and or for this purpose, every institution has to be given requisite funds. पैसा के लिए देना पड़े. This is one. Secondly, there are many teachers in our higher education system who are not very good in the use of ICT equipment. बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो ICT equipment को इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते. You know, mostly in the senior teachers. जो senior teacher होते हैं वो अपना ICT को बहुत ज्यादा इस्तेमाल नहीं करते. तो you know, large scale training programs have to be launched for this purpose. बहुत लंबे चौड़े यानी large scale training program देना पड़ेगा. All teachers have to be trained in the use of information and communication technology in teaching. ये करना पड़ेगा. तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाना पड़ेगा, टीचर्स को ट्रेनिंग भी देनी पड़ेगी बहुत लार्ज स्केल. एंड वी हैव टू सी हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू बी डन. अब ये देखना पड़ेगा कि इसको गवर्नमेंट कैसे करेगी. मे बी दैट द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ ट्रेनिंग इज गिवन टू IITs एंड अदर सच टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट्स. ये पॉसिबल है. IITs वगैरह है, उनको ये जिम्मेदारी दीजिए, आप टीचर्स को ट्रेन कीजिए. अच्छा, ये सिर्फ हायर एजुकेशन नहीं होगा. इवन एट द स्कूल लेवल ICT has to be implemented in teaching process, and therefore teachers have to be trained at school level also. वहां भी उनकी ट्रेनिंग. तो एक तरह से टीचर ट्रेनिंग विल बी ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम इन नेक्स्ट डिकेड टू कम. आगे ये बहुत ज्यादा लार्ज स्केल पे ये चीज. Okay. Now we come to the other thing, and that is research. Research is the weakest component of our higher education system. सबसे कमजोर कड़ी हमारी रिसर्च है. क्योंकि large scale PhDs are being produced. PhDs हम पैदा करते हैं बहुत ज्यादा. And after PhD was made a compulsory requirement for a job in the university, large scale, you know, doctorate degree holders were produced by the university. अभी recent बहुत ज्यादा large scale पे हुआ. In fact, total number of PhDs awarded by our universities in 2010-11 was only 10,000. 2010-11 में सारी इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटीज में 10,000 PhD अवार्ड हुई थी. This figure went up to 25,000 in the next 10 years. अगले 10 साल में वो फिगर 25,000 हो गया. यानी 2020-21 में वो 25,000 थी फिगर. And now the figure may be nearly 40,000, because every year there is an increase of 5 to 7 years in 7 PhDs. यानी हर साल 5 से 7,000 नए डॉक्टरेट डिग्री बढ़ जाते. अवार्डिंग जो है वो इंक्रीमेंट हो जाता. तो लार्ज स्केल PhD हमारे यहाँ प्रोड्यूस हो रही है. And most of them do not have any element of research. यानी ज्यादातर में रिसर्च कुछ नहीं होती. यानी we are awarding PhD degrees without research. That is another important problem, and that's why our universities are not figuring in the top ranks in the international ranking, because 60% weightage in that ranking process is assigned to research efforts, research endeavors. And जो research related काम है, publications in good international journals, academic award like Nobel prizes and other international prizes, ये चीजें हैं, ये भी देखी जाती है यूनिवर्सिटी के बारे में. And this aspect carries 60% of the total weightage. तो हमारे पास ये जो 60% है इसका तो कुछ है ही नहीं. And that's why our university rank low there. इसको हमको देखना पड़ेगा. And now through NEP 2020, the government plans to improve our research output, both in terms of quantity and quality. अब सरकार कहती है कि नहीं हम improve करेंगे. NEP में proposals हैं, and for that purpose, the government proposes to establish a National Research Foundation, NRF, National Research Foundation. एक system create करना चाहती है government, which will coordinate the research efforts in different institutions and organizations. देखिए हमारे पास institutions अब भी हैं, जैसे besides universities के अलावा we have National Physical Laboratory, we have National Chemical Laboratory, we have National Botanical Garden. इस तरह के institutions हैं which are doing this good research in their area, but there is no national level body to coordinate their efforts. इस तरह की कोई national body नहीं है जो कि उनके effort को coordinate करे. And that is why sometimes there is a duplication of research. ये देखिए duplication है, एक वही काम कई जगह आदमी कर रहा है because उसको पता नहीं है कि दूसरा आदमी कहीं कुछ काम कर रहा है. Like that, duplication of effort is to be avoided, and for that purpose a coordinating body has to be created, and the body is named National Research Foundation, and it has already been created by the government. ये body government ने create कर दी है already, and it has started functioning in the year 2021-22. The government allocated 50,000 crores for National Research Foundation. तो ये एक effort है, वो भी is a part of NEP 2020. National policy का हिस्सा ये है, तो ये हो गया. Then there is one more proposal. Like USA and China, the government of India wants to identify some institutions which are doing good research and to develop them into research universities. यानी कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन को सरकार चाहती है कि हम उनको रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूशंस में कन्वर्ट करें. एंड फॉर दैट क्या होगा, some institutions doing good work in research will be identified and would be given additional resources, additional funds to improve their research efforts further. International level की research, उसके लिए हम कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन को अभी गवर्नमेंट कह रही है हम करेंगे. USA has done it, China has done it. USA has identified 8 best universities in their country, which are their research universities. They call them Ivy League university. का नाम रखा हुआ है Ivy League. जैसे हमारे यहाँ इंजीनियरिंग में IIT बेस्ट मानी जाती है ना, और किसी के बच्चे का एडमिशन IIT में हो जाए तो बहुत खुश होते हैं पेरेंट्स. In the same way, in USA, if a student gets admission to a Ivy League university, he is supposed to be very lucky. कहते हैं भाई बहुत किस्मत है, Ivy League में तुम्हारा एडमिशन. In the same way, there are some institutions in China. On the same line, the government of India also wants to create some good institutions to be called research universities. ये भी एक नया एफर्ट है, और इस तरह की यूनिवर्सिटीज का नाम होगा मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन एंड रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी. मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन एंड रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी, MERU. ये मेरू ये नाम है. तो ये एक प्रपोजल है जो कि अभी गवर्नमेंट कर रही है चालू. अब हम आते हैं इंटरनेशनल डायमेंशन. ये देखिए एक इंपॉर्टेंट डायमेंशन है. इस वक्त these days we are not producing graduates and postgraduates and technical manpower for working in our own country only. अब वो जमाना बहुत पीछे चला गया कि जब हम सिर्फ अपने देश के लिए मैन पावर पैदा करते थे. नाउ वी प्रोड्यूस मैन पावर फॉर द वर्ल्ड. Anyway, the idea is that a graduate or a skilled, a professional graduate coming out of a university should be employed anywhere in the world. पूरी दुनिया के लिए है. हम ये मान के चलते हैं. और इसलिए there is a craze of foreign degrees in many students because people want good education. अच्छी एजुकेशन लोगों को चाहिए. Of course, we have some good institutions like IITs and IIMs, and there are some other institutions also. But their cut score is very high. Entrance test होता है सब में, and that's very tough. And sometimes the minimum cut score is as high as 99 percentile. यानी कभी कभी इतना हाई कट स्कोर होता है कि 99 से कम पर एडमिशन ही नहीं होता. क्यों? कि इंस्टीट्यूशंस कम है. इंस्टीट्यूशन नंबर में ज्यादा नहीं है, थोड़े से हैं. देखिए, अगर 99 का एडमिशन हो जाता है, 98 का नहीं होता, तो 98 वाला बच्चा भी बहुत बुरा नहीं है. ही इज ऑल्सो वेरी गुड, बट ही डजंट फाइंड ए प्लेस बिकॉज देयर इज नो सीट. ऐसे लोगों को अगर इफ दे वांट क्वालिटी एजुकेशन, then such people try to find out ways and means to go abroad for higher studies. बाहर जाते हैं लोग. तो एक तो वो लोग हैं जिनके पास बहुत पैसा है, lot of money their parents can afford. एक तो वो लोग जाते हैं, उनको कोई कंपटीशन वहां नहीं देना है. They have to pay money and get degrees for them, study there and get that degree. There are others who go there on education loans. क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने एजुकेशन लोन्स भी शुरू किए हैं. उस लोन को लेकर भी बहुत सारे लोग बाहर चले जाते हैं. सो दिस इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन हैज बिकम ए वेरी बिग बिजनेस दीस डेज. ये एक बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस हो गया. दिस इज इन फैक्ट नियरली $400 billion US बिजनेस. $400 billion की बिजनेस है पूरी दुनिया. एंड nearly 1/4 of it is shared by USA alone. यानी यूएसए अकेला करीब करीब $100 billion की बिजनेस करता है इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन से. अमेरिका होस्ट्स large number of international students from different countries. जगह जगह से आते हैं, and mostly from China and India. इंडिया और चाइना से सबसे ज्यादा जाते हैं. And according to the information available, nearly 1.5 lakh students go abroad from our country for higher study every year. हर साल करीब 1.5 लाख बच्चे, 1.5 लाख लोग बाहर पढ़ने के लिए जाते हैं. And they spend nearly $50 billion US per year. हर साल इतना खर्च होता है, which equals 4 lakh crore rupees. अगर रुपए की बात करें तो 4 लाख करोड़ रुपए हर साल हमारे बच्चे यूएसए में, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, दूसरे देशों में खर्च करते हैं. एंड दिस अमाउंट इज मोर देन 4 times आवर एनुअल एजुकेशन बजट. एंड ये अमाउंट हमारा जो एजुकेशन का बजट है उसका भी 4 गुना है, उससे ज्यादा। मन दिस इज ए वेल्थ ड्रेन, हम ये कहना चाहिए, वेल्थ का ड्रेन हो रहा है, यू नो, आवर वेल्थ इज बीइंग ड्रेन्ड आउट। तो ये वेल्थ ड्रेन बड़े लार्ज स्केल पर है। और अभी ये गवर्नमेंट कह रही है कि भाई अभी तो करीब 13.25 लाख स्टूडेंट्स हमारे बाहर पढ़ते हैं, यू नो, 13.24 ये फिगर है, दिस द फिगर। 13 more than 13 lakh students are studying abroad at present, and they are spending huge amount, and many of them who study abroad don't come back. बहुत से तो आते ही नहीं है वापस, they don't come back, and many of them surrender their Indian citizenship भी surrender कर देते, वहां की citizenship ले लेते। So there is both brain drain and wealth drain, दोनों, wealth drain भी है, wealth drain, brain drain. And for that purpose, the government of India plans to invite some good foreign institutions to start their centers here. यानी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ये कह रही है कुछ अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन से कि वो यहाँ आए और अपने सेंटर्स खोलें, so that our students don't have to go abroad for higher education and spend more there. ये इसमें ये जितना पैसा बाहर जाता है, इतना वेल्थ जाता है, इसमें से कुछ बचत हो जाए, इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट चाहती है कि कुछ यहाँ हम सेंटर्स खोल दें। इस तरह से हायर एजुकेशन को गवर्नमेंट जो है वो करना चाहती है, बट ऑल दिस रिक्वायर्स मनी, एंड वी स्पेंड 3% of GDP on education nearly, and recommended proportion is 6% of GDP. You know, Education Commission in 1966 recommended that the government of India should spend 6% of GDP on education. But we have been spending only 3%, half of what is proposed by the commission. बहुत resources की जरूरत है, money चाहिए. Let us see what the government of India does. Now the present government says that they will exhibit some political will and will also provide funds required for implementation of NPE 2020. ये गवर्नमेंट कह रही है कि हम पैसा देंगे, आप इसको करें. So this is all about today's program. I think I have covered all the aspects of the topic, and time is also gone. अब आप बताएं, अगर कोई क्वेश्चन आपका हो तो मैं जल्दी से जवाब दे सकता हूं. Okay, sir.
Participants, if you have any question. If you have any questions or query, you can ask. Viru sir.
So that means no questions, huh?
Let's hope, sir, that there is no question, because, sir, your lecture was so much clear. And I know, sir, you have expertise on our higher education, especially in the current scenario. So if you have any question, participant, you can ask. Sir is a versatile speaker, especially on the higher education system of India. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So that's all. I think
this is
the last program today, no?
No, sir. There is another more lecture after you. Sir.
Today?
Yes, sir. It is up to 7 o'clock, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God. So then
एक्चुअली सर ये इवनिंग में क्लास है, इनकी जो लेक्चर चल रहे हैं इवनिंग में चल रहे हैं सर ये.
ठीक है, चलिए कोई बात नहीं.
Because all our faculty members and they finish their work, अपने काम पूरे हो जाते हैं तो शाम में ये ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं.
ठीक है, तो साहब मैं आपका टाइम अब ज्यादा नहीं ले रहा हूँ, इसलिए आई एम डिस्कनेक्टिंग.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
On the behalf of HRDC AMU, thank you, sir. Participant join another meeting. Now you can left from here.